All right, a little bit of a tour of the dashboard. So now you're logged in. Maybe you've changed your password, maybe you kept it, whatever. But you now want to try and navigate around, maybe create your first post or whatever. But yeah, let's start with the navigating side of it. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see the dashboard. That's going to be pretty much your go-to. That is this page. And you're going to want to come back and forth to that pretty often. And from the dashboard, you can get to all kinds of little handy things. Now you'll note that you'll see the little orange icon here and where it says updates. Don't worry about the updates. I'll be checking in every so often and doing any of the necessary updates. There's really not that much maintenance to the sites at the moment. So yeah, let me just handle that. If you do see something that if it concerns you for whatever reason, you're just like, well, what should I do? Just get a hold of me. Email me, and yeah, I'll look into it. But otherwise, there shouldn't be anything really to panic about. Now, posts. That's content. That's what we're talking about here. And when you put your icon, your mouse cursor over it, it shows you the drop down of all posts, add new, categories, and tags. All posts, that's pretty much all the content on the website. So if you want to click on that, it will it'll bring you up basically everything that's on there so far. And you look at the top, 279 posts published, 274. There's 5 in the drafts folder that I need to sort through. But yeah, that's basically everything that's currently on the site. It's a good place to start if you have some content that you want to post, but you're not sure if it's been posted before. This is a good place to come to then go into search and type in a keyword or two and see what comes up. Obviously, a keyword like Antarctica or Antarctic is going to bring up everything. So try and use more unique keywords when you're doing a search. Something specific to the content that you're interested in posting. Maybe it's neutrinos and the ice cube neutrino study at South Pole. Neutrinos is a pretty good, unique keyword. So you could type that in, and it will bring up anything relevant to the neutrinos Antarctica site that we've got here on the OAE.com website. Otherwise, yeah, if we keep going, the next one down is the Add New. And that's where you're going to go and start your first or your next blog post. We're going to actually come back to that one because that's a whole video in itself. So for the moment, we're just going to kind of take a look at some more of these things. Categories, that's when you get into creating your posts, you'll want to put it into different categories. And that helps for sorting, that helps for search engines, that sort of thing. Tags are also another useful point. That's when you're creating a new post, you're going to tag the posts, and that's going to be more information that you're going to use, or that the site's going to use to catalog, to help search, to help it be found by search engines, all those sorts of things. So that's just some information there. Events. That's what's called a plugin that allows, if you wanted to schedule an event, or you know of an event coming up and you want to put it on the calendar here, this is where you go. Pretty simple stuff. You put your cursor over that, you go into Add New, you create the event, put in the information. We can play with that a little bit later. Media. Media can be the pictures, music files, video files, all these various things that you want to add into the site. Pages, you're not really going to mess with the pages too much, at least to start with. Pages are basically new pages, new website pages. It's different than the posts. The posts are going to be under kind of their own category of blog posts, but the pages will be, if you wanted to create a page that said, a more detailed biography of yourself, then you could do that. But get a hold of me before you do something like that. We'll discuss whether it's better to be putting that into the blog or whether it's better to be putting that on its own page. So for now, unless we have a discussion and we want to go ahead with adding pages, let's leave that for now. Comments. This will be comments that you make or comments that other people make on the content. We'll come back to that a little bit more later, and we'll talk about what's appropriate, what you can do, how that impacts the site, and that sort of thing. Wikis. Now, I'm going to be taking this off. This is a plugin that I really don't like. It's very costly. Their monthly fees are outrageous, and it's just a big pain in the butt. And I'm going to go and look at doing a TikiWiki site that we will tie into this site. That'll be a full, proper Antarctica wiki. So for now, just ignore this little wiki side of things. I'll get rid of that shortly. Contact. That's the how to contact the site information. We're not going to mess with that. Marketplace, we really don't have any marketplace stuff set up. Appearance. Probably going to leave all that for right now. Plugins, again, are kind of these little programs that do little things on the site. We'll leave those for now. If you do have a plugin that you'd like to use, let me know and we'll discuss that. Users, that's where I go in and add you as a user. Since this account was set up as an administrator, if I set you up as an administrator and you find someone that wants to blog content, then there's how you that's how you would add them. You would go into add new and that sort of thing. It's pretty self-explanatory. Tools, probably not going to mess around with. Stop spammers, that's mostly set up, and I'll review that occasionally. Settings, again, not a heck of a lot to do there. Enviro Gallery, that's a pretty cool little program that if you want to create an entire gallery of photos or some sort of, basically a huge gallery of photos, rather than uploading individual photos, this is a good way to do it. You can upload a whole bulk of photos, and then you can use that gallery in your content. So if you want to create the gallery and then use it on your one of your posts, you can do that. A while back, there was the British ship that was in a port in Littleton. I went and got to tour it with a whole heap of other people. Got some great pictures, tons of pictures, and then uploaded a whole gallery of those pictures on here. In fact, let's take a look at, see what it comes up with, and shows us an example of some of the galleries. Okay, here's the galleries I currently have. There's the New Zealand Antarctic Society statue that they put up in Littleton, so there's a bunch of pictures just of that. There's the Lily Simonson, her artistic photos of her Antarctica art that she was doing a display of in California. Catherine Patrick with Homeward Bound, had a nice conversation with her, and she sent me some pictures. So you can see that Lily's had 29 images, Kathleen's was 6 images, South Korean research vessel. They came in. I got not on board, but some distant photos of them. Ocean Giant, which is the vessel that resupplies McMurdo, got on board and got some great pictures. And then, yeah, HMS Protector, that's the UK vessel that I got to tour, and I got 83 images. So a lot of images. Throw them all into one gallery. A couple of images, you can just put them into a single post. Going further down, there's EBS settings. Don't worry about it. Recent tweets, that's kind of an automated thing whenever it's all tied in. When you generate content and you post content, that will be automatically tweeted on Twitter. I've set up a Twitter account specific to Old Antarctic Explorers, and it just is another way of getting the information out there. Maps. Now, Maps is a very helpful one. And I'll have to do a specific tutorial on the maps because it can be a little quirky. But otherwise, there are already quite a few maps that you can reference. So if you have a post and the post is specific to a location, here's the maps that we currently have. There's 47 different maps. Thwaites Great Glacier. If you have a post that references something about Thwaites Great Glacier, then you can use this little short code in your post. See, it copies it to your clipboard, and you can put that in the body of your post, and then it'll bring up the handy little map showing where Thwaites Glacier is in your post content. Same thing with all the others. New Zealand Antarctic statue, that's in Littleton. Larsen Ice Shelf, that's down on the ice. Vestfold Hills in Antarctica. Sao Paulo, Brazil. I forget what the post is around that, but there was something happening there about Antarctica. Sitka Sound Science Center, they were having a talk about Antarctica up in Sitka, Alaska. Just all kinds of it. So before you're going to create a new map, look here to see if there isn't already a map. Look, Deception Island, Rothera Research Station, Bellinghausen Sea, Australia's Davis Station, all these different ones. If you want to add one, that's great, but come here first, take a look to see if there isn't already a map for it, so you're not doubling up the content and doubling up the work. All right, and yeah, that's pretty much the dashboard stuff. These are the main things that you're going to use, but the next video will be about posts and adding a new post, and we'll jump into that shortly. Thanks.